What is going on, everybody? RoyalRapids here, and welcome to the next Pokemon Hardcore Nuzlocke. Today, we'll be taking on Pokemon White 2 using only Fire-type Pokemon. Now, in this run, we get a pretty solid selection of encounters. 13 in total, I want to say. I could be very wrong here. I don't have a list up in front of me or anything. But they're all pretty good encounters, and we finally get to pick a starter this time, unlike in the normal-type Heart Gold or the Poison-type Platinum. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a very fun run, and this is the first time I played Pokemon White 2 in quite a long time, actually. I've never actually played White 2. I've only ever played Black 2, and I've only ever completed it once. So, I hope that this will be a fun adventure, despite it being a Nuzlocke challenge. And I think that we could get some very interesting encounters in this game that we can't get in many other games, since most games are pretty rare when it comes to fire types, looking at you, Diamond and Pearl. So, without further ado, we head up to talk to Bianca, and she lets us choose our partner Pokemon, which in this run obviously has to be Tepig. Over in Flocacy Ranch, we go to take on our rival Hugh for what would technically be the second time. However, the first battle, never interesting, just a tackle fest. I actually forgot about this battle, which is why my Tepig came in at only level 18. And I was trying to Ember here to burn the Oshawott, have its attack, and also get extra residual damage, which we eventually do. Hit a tackle, and the burn finishes off the Oshawott, earning us our first victory over our rival Hugh. After completing a few more tasks, we head over to the Aspertia City Gym to take on the normal-type gym leader, Cheren. Cheren here leads with a Patra, and we of course lead with our only Pokemon, Porky, the Tepig. We set up a defense scroll here, however sets up a workup, which offsets the defense boost with an attack boost of his own. We trade defense scrolls and workups one more time before hitting an Ember for about not even a quarter of damage. He goes for a third workup and is pretty dangerous at this point, however we crit a tackle and take out the remaining of his HP. In comes Lillipup, we tackle it for a little bit of damage and hit an Ember to bring him to a little bit below half. A tackle brings us below half, but a Ember leaves him in the yellow. Cheren heals with the Lillipup with a potion, but a few Embers later, we take out the Lillipup, earning us the basic badge. The first of our 8 Unova gym badges. A little bit later, we head to Burgh City and catch our second encounter, a Growlithe, before growing to level 17 and having Porky evolve into a trusty Pignite, gaining it the fighting type. And a little bit later, we take on Gym Leader Roxie, the Poison Leader. We lead with RK9 to get the Intimidate hit on the Coughing to make its tackles do less damage if we're switching into Porky. We get hit with a crit tackle, which still doesn't do much damage at all, and start setting up workups. Since Coughing can't really hurt us much since its attack is lowered and it's already not particularly strong to begin with, we're able to set up a few workups in its face. We're taking another crit down to 12. But one-shotting it with a Flame Charge, getting a speed boost, which allows us to outspeed Whirlipede and one-shot it, earning us our second Unova gym badge after we go to level 19. Over up near Castelia City, we find a Darumaka, our third encounter of the run, and we name it Darmani before heading right up to face Gym Leader Burgh. Now, Burgh here is a Bug-type Gym Leader, which is already a fantastic matchup for us. So just have insult to injury to him, let's sweep him with Pignite. Third time of the run, I guess, if you count Cheren. Since this Razor Leaf does absolutely nothing to us, we keep setting up workups as it goes for a string shot for whatever reason. We can obviously offset that with flame charges later on. So we set up a few workups, tank Razor Leafs like it's nothing, get healthy with leftovers, and proceed to plow through the entirety of his team with flame charges. We got our speed back from the string shot fall. In comes Dwebble, flame charge, brings him to below half. He just rock polishes for whatever reason. We're now +1 speed. Take a smackdown like it's nobody's business. Get +2 in speed with flame charge. Go to level 23. We don't need to roll out because it's not a very good move, especially in a Nuzlocke. You're locked in for 5 turns. Leavanny comes out and obviously 4 times weak. It goes down, and we, just like that, have 3 Unova gym badges while only using Porky, besides a little bit of RK9. After heading up north of Castelia City into the desert, we meet Colress for the first time. Now, Colress is a Steel-type trainer, which is obviously a good matchup for us, considering that we use Fire types. However, his Magnemite has Sturdy and keeps taking hits here and paralyzes us, but ultimately we finish taking it out with a few Fire Fangs. We stupidly stay in against a Gear Grind, but we burn the Clink, switch into Darumaka, who just stands there and gets a free kill from the burn. We find a Firestone, which would be really clutch considering in the Castelia sewers, we run into our next encounter in Eevee, which if you played any amount of Pokemon before, you know if you give it a Firestone, it will evolve into a Flareon. We name this Flareon Sunset, and we now have 4 members on the team as we head to Nimbasa City to take on Gym Leader Elesa, the Electric-type user. She leads with an Emolga, and I lead with Porky. As per usual, we love using Porky in these gyms. We hit up a workup on the Volt Switch. Hit an Arm Thrust on Flaffy, but it only hits 2 times, and we get paralyzed. However, we do hit a Flame Charge on Emolga, and also on Flaffy, which takes it out. We have a Speed Boost here, but we're paralyzed and on such low HP. We have to switch into Sunset, who Volt Switches into Zebstrika. Elesa loves to use those Volt Switch strats. Sunset hits a few Fire Fangs, brings up Strike a low. We bring in Arcanine to get the Intimidate drop and hit a couple Fire Fangs to bring it down. Last but not least, a Molga comes back out, but one more Fire Fang finishes the job, earning us our 4th Unova gym badge. West of Nimbasa City, we run into a Panseer who we nickname Pawn. And yeah, Pawn is going to be very useful in this gym battle versus Clay, otherwise we would be completely screwed. We leave with Pawn who gets intimidated, but we're not going to attack with him anyways. He uses Yawn, and that's all we caught him for. He can learn Yawn. Krokorok hits him low with a Bulldoze, but we're able to go down to a Sand Tomb. Goodbye, Pawn, which allows us a free switch into Porky. Now, while Krokorok is asleep, Porky can set up workups like nobody's business, getting to +3 attack, which is going to be very useful. We fire off a Flame Charge, just one-shots Krokorok, leading into Sand Slash. Now, Sand Slash can't kill us from full without a crit. However, we cannot hit it from above half either. Our speed falls, but due to the speed boost from Flame Charge, we fire back and take out the Sand Slash. In comes Extra Shield, but due to him being a Steel type, he is weak to fire, and we one-shot him, earning our gym badge, the 5th in the Unova region. We're flying through this game so far without much trouble. In the PWT, these battles are usually easy, considering that they're only level 25, more than mid-30s at this point. Figured I'd show the final battle versus Colress. He'll do the Magneton. We have Porky, who fights through Parafusion to take out the Magneton. In comes LGM, which I stupidly stayed in against, even though he's a Psychic type and we're a Fighting type. However, we did not get punished, as Sunset just comes in on a heal block. We can't heal anyways. We're in a Nuzlocke. And a couple Fire Fangs later, we kill him and take down the Pokemon World Tournament. We head to the Relic Castle to catch our next encounter, a Volcarona, who is unfortunately plagued by an awful moveset. And now we have a little bit of an evolution session, as Pignite evolves into Emboar and Darumaka evolves into Darmanitan, giving our team a big power boost. Over in the Celestial Tower, we catch a Litwick, who we add to the team and nickname Soulfire, and we ring the notification bell. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I don't like asking, but hey, it would help a lot. Besides all that, we finally get to the Mistralton City Gym to take on Gym Leader Skyla. Now we lead up with Sunset, the Flareon here, because she knows the move Bite, which is a Dark-type move, super effective against the Psychic-type Swoobat. However, the Swoobat is giving us a lot of trouble because it keeps flinching us with Heart Stamp. As you can see, we flinch with 6 HP, and without a clean switch, we were forced to let Sunset go, our second death of the run. Now, I was stumped at what to do here, so I switched in Vulcan, who is unfortunately plagued with an awful move pool. I go for a Struggle Bug to take down the Swoobat, however, there's nothing I can switch in to a Stab Bubble Beam from Swanna, so I'm forced to let Vulcan go down, our now 3rd casualty of the run. I send in Porky, who has a big Rock Tomb to bring Swanna below half, however, her Citrus Berry heals her back above half. After doing another Rock Tomb, we get Feather Danced, however, Skyla does not heal, and we take down the Swanna with one more Rock Tomb. In comes Skarmory, so he decides to switch to RK9 to get the Intimidate drop, as well as the fact that RK9 has the special Flamethrower, and Skarmory has much worse physical defense than it does special defense. Its Sturdy ability activates, however, the Burn also activates and takes down the Skarmory in one hit, earning us the win over Skyla, however, not with casualty, as we lost Sunset and Vulcan. Over in Lintimus Town, though, we catch a new teammate, a Numel, who we name Sahara, and we find the 2nd Firestone of the game, which we give to RK9, using it to fully evolve it into a proper Arcanine. A little bit later, we evolve our Litwick into a Lampent, and our Numel evolves into a Camerupt, since this evolution level was not soon after what we caught it at. Over in Undella Town, we run into Hugh once again. He leads up with an Unpheasant. We lead with Sahara, who's 1 level higher. Then Unpheasant detects and then goes for a Tailwind, but 2 Lava Plumes gets the job done as Samurott comes in. Now this is dangerous, a team full of fire types against a water type. We try to get the Intimidate drop off, since it's mostly a physical attacker, but RK9 gets brought below half, so we bring in Porky, who we taught Thunder Punch at the move reminder, and it hits big, bringing Samurott down into the yellow. He heals, we bring it down into the yellow again, and one more Thunder Punch takes out the Samurott. In comes Simisage, but one Flame Charge takes it out, earning us the victory over Hugh. Backtracking back to Lentimus Town, I forgot about the Dust Stone we could have got, so we pick it up, give it to Lampent, and it evolves fully into a Chandelure, a very powerful Pokemon that'll help us a lot in this run. And it is time to head to Opelucid City to take on the Dragon-type Gym Leader Drayden. He leads with the Druddigan, and we lead with Sahara, who's a special attacker, who will not get affected by the Rough Skin ability. We Will-O-Wisp it to have its attack, since it mostly uses physical attack. We take a Crunch like nobody's business and fire back with a strong Earth Power. Drayden heals it with a Hyper Potion, but Earth Power brings it back below half. We take a Crunch and finish it out with one more Earth Power. Drayden leads in with Flygon, who's a very powerful Pokemon. We don't have anything that can really deal with it since we don't have any Ice-type attacks. We just in Porky, who gets Dragon-tailed out into Darmani. We figured, oh, that's fine. I ponder for going for Belly Drum for a while and realized we're probably going to get killed. So I decided to think about switching out too, and then I realized I really don't know what I can do here. I ended up using the Arcane to get the Intimidate drop, and then I realized, oh wait, this Flygon's a special attacker, and hits me with a big Earth Power. Knowing Arcane cannot take another hit, I'm forced to switch here. And I eventually decide to look around through my moves, stumped once again, take an Earth Power, and let Arcane go down to allow myself a free switch. Am I proud of that? No, but it's what had to be done to get a free switch into Soulfire, who tanks an Earth Power like nobody's business and fires back a powerful Shadow Ball. However, not wanting Soulfire to go down, I'm forced to bring in Darmani, who can tank a Crunch, since Soulfire is weak to that. And I'm then fire off a powerful Flare Blitz, taking down the Flygon. In comes Haxorus, who's also very difficult to deal with, at level 48, 3 levels higher than Darmani. Darmani hits a Hammer Arm, which lowers its defense, but gets a crit Hammer Arm on the next turn. If Haxorus got one more Dragon Dance off, it would have swept our entire team, but that crit Hammer Arm saved us. And here, after Team Plasma decides to freeze over Opelucid City, we take on Plasma Sage Zinzalin, who's an Ice-type user, which shouldn't be an issue for our Fire types whatsoever. Now, I typically don't show these Team Plasma battles because they tend to be very easy in this game, and I have a pretty wide variety of Pokemon that can deal with them easily. However, Zinzalin here has a Weavile, which can actually do pretty big damage to me if I'm not careful. As you see, it gets a crit Night Slash, which brings Porky near to half. Now, not wanting Porky to go down, obviously, I hit a Flame Charge, but it doesn't quite kill the Weavile. I thought I outsped due to the speed boost, but I didn't. And Porky, if we crit, would have been killed right there. Cryogonal comes in, and I don't have to worry about Cryogonal, but still, I almost lost Porky to an Ice type because of carelessness. That's why you play around the critical hit. And, you know, I'm not necessarily known for that in my Nuzlocks, but hey, I had to learn it the hard way almost there. But Porky survives for now. That would have ended the run if he had died. Very poor play can lead to very poor decisions. Watch the Pokemon Heart Gold and Normal type Nuzlocke if you want to see poor decisions, because I made plenty of them there. Over in Humalo City, though, we run into Water Gym Leader Marlon, which would be a challenge, normally. But he's over the Caracosta, who Shell Smashes. We Flame Burst to break the Sturdy, and one Energy Ball that we picked up from a TM. Takes out the Caracosta in one hit. Wailord comes in, a pure water type, very tanky. Goes below half. Gets his special defense lowered. However, it just goes for Amnesia, which offsets that. But one more Energy Ball easily gets the job done. In comes Jellicent, who's a Ghost type. We're also a Ghost type, and a super effective Shadow Ball gets the job done, getting us our 8th and final Unova Gym Badge. Still a lot of game left, though, as we have a lot of Plasma stuff left to go. As you can see, this scene right here reminds me of the scene in Platinum and Diamond and Pearl, for that matter, where the legendary Lake Trio are locked up, and you have to go and save them from battling Cyrus, not Cyrus, for that matter, Saturn. However, here up against Zinzalin and a Plasma Grunt, we're teamed up with Hugh, and we take out the Cryogonal and Liepard fairly easily. However, Darmani is at low health due to not being fully healthy, and also hitting a big Flare Blitz on the Cryogonal. But, what do you call it here? Samurott has been a massive help in this battle as he keeps landing Aqua Tails, which aren't 100% accurate, but he manages to land them pretty effectively, and he's gotten 2 one-shots with it. Weavile crits him, but a big Flame Charge from Porky almost takes out the Weavile. A big Aqua Tail gets Samurott his 3rd Oko of the fight. Scolipede comes in. We're getting pretty lucky here. That's mostly Pokemon that we're weak to. However, I stupidly decide to leave Weavile alive, who it's a crit, who if he would have crit, would have killed Porky with that slash. However, we survived the fight, and we continue the Plasma quest. I do like the Plasma quest in this game, however, it is quite long and is probably longer than most of like the mid-section of the game. Like the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th gym part goes really quickly compared to this Plasma section. I decided to show this here because every DS Pokemon game, I guess besides Diamond and Pearl, has a really cool scene like this, like the Giratina scene in Platinum, or like the Ho-Oh or Lugia scene in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or the Zekrom and Reshiram scene at the end of Black and White. This Plasma ship scene shows out that the DS actually had pretty decent power for a handheld console released in 2004. We're up for the 3rd time against Zinzalin here, the Ice-type trainer. One Fire Punch takes down his Cryogonal. As Darmani goes to level 54, we elect to not learn Overheat as we're using him as a physical attacker. Cryogonal again suffers the same fate, and in comes his Weavile, who came close to killing Porky twice, but this time we're smart, and Darmani outspeeds and one-shots it with a Fire Punch. Yeah, so as you see, Cheren is locked up here. They're using his power to freeze over the Unova region for whatever reason. I really don't know if it's even explained. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily the best writing in the world, but we can deal with it. It's a children's game. And here's our final battle against Chorus. Once again, a Steel-type leader here. Not a leader, a Steel-type user, I should say. As our Fire types typically are good against, you go for a Will-O-Wisp to break the Sturdy, and then switch into Queen Soulfire, who has low-key been the carry of recent against Drayden and Marlon. Comes in here, hits a big Flame Burst, one-shotting the Magneton. A Shadow Ball takes Metang well below half, taking a Rock Slide like nobody's business, and one more Shadow Ball finishes off the Metang. In comes Kling Clang, a Steel type who Thunderbolts Soulfire, but he tanks it like a beast, pops the air balloon and brings Cling Clang low. However, not wanting to risk Soulfire, we bring in Porky. Chorus full restores like a baby. Loser. Use no items like a true Nuzlocke. As he shifts gears, raising his attack and speed. However, we raise our speed, tanking a gear grind and firing back with a flame charge to finish off the Cling Clang, leading into Chorus's next Pokemon, a Magnezone, who also has Sturdy. However, a flame charge brings it to about half. We get T-Waved, which shouldn't be too big of a deal as he explodes. I did not expect this, but Porky tanks that like a boss, growing to level 54. Leading into his final Pokemon, Behem, his only non-Steel type, a pure Psychic type, meaning we have to get Porky out of here. Bringing in Darmani, who doesn't tank a Psychic all that well, but manages to OHKO with Flare Blitz, hanging on with 37 HP, and finishing off Colress once and for all. Then we have Ice and Steel trainers here in Team Plasma, but we've had our fair share of close calls. This game is definitely probably the hardest of any of the main series Pokemon games. Ultra Sun and Moon has an argument due to the Ultra Necrozma battle, but in terms of main story battles, Black and White 2 has to be the hardest. Another really cool scene here on the DS where Ghetsis orders Kyurem to attack us, and N flies out of the skies to stop Kyurem from killing our player. Kind of dark stuff here for a Pokemon game. But Ghetsis is like, nope, we're using the Black Orb, and we're going to fuse Kyurem with Zekrom, which is why... No, Kyurem with Reshiram. My bad. I'm actually very dumb. We're playing White 2, not Black 2. However, we get another cool scene with Kyurem and Reshiram on the bottom and top screens. Great use of the DS's dual screen technology. It's really nice to see that Pokemon used to actually put in effort back then. No disrespect to Gen 6 fans or anything, but back in these days, the effort put into these Pokemon games were immense, as the DS, which was a handheld released in 2004, was here in 2012, showing off really cool pre-animated cutscenes of Kyurem and Reshiram here. I mean, obviously there's cutscenes like that in today's Pokemon games, but you'd expect something like that from the 3DS or the Switch. It's just so cool to me that in the DS era, we were able to get something this high-tech, as Kyurem fuses with Reshiram, making White Kyurem a Dragon and Fire type Pokemon with a use of Ice moves. Very difficult Pokemon, as we're going to fight it as a boss battle soon enough. Similar to Ultra Necrozma, which I guess was its predecessor. Ultra Necrozma, I would say, is harder, but in terms of like boss battle Pokemon, this is almost as hard as it gets. So after all this hype, I appreciate for any of you who watched all of that. I just like to gush about how much I like the Generation 3-5 Pokemon games. Regardless, it is time to fight White Kyurem. Soulfire takes a big Dragon Breath and brings Kyurem a little bit above half, so I'm forced to switch. I cannot afford to sacrifice Soulfire in this fight. I cannot afford to sacrifice anyone, as we have 4 Pokemon remaining. Sahara gets crit by a Slash, forcing me to switch once again into Darmani, who takes a Dragon Breath very poorly, leaving it with only 49 HP. However, I knew that a Flare Blitz would KO, and he would hang on with just 5 HP, taking out White Kyurem without any casualties. However, Ghetsis takes us on directly after, but luckily, he's nice enough to allow us to heal, so Soulfire is back to full health, which we need, because we need to one-shot this Cofagrigus with a Shadow Ball. In comes Seismitoad, a tanky Pokemon, but 4 times weak to grass, goes down to a single Energy Ball, leading into the good old Drapion, the Poison and Dark type. Watch the Pokemon Platinum Hardcore Nuzlocke if you want to see some Drapion action. We Will-O-Wisp it after taking a Night Slash, which will half his attack, allowing us to get a safe switch into Sahara. As long as he does not crit with Night Slash, we should be fine. It did only 24 hit points of damage, and then 26 there. With Night Slash, allowing us to take it out with an Earth Power. In comes Hydreigon, who unfortunately takes down Sahara with a Dragon Rush, allowing a clean switch into Darmani. Darmani goes for his Superpower, which is super effective and almost one-shots the Hydreigon. However, due to the defense drop, Darmani goes down and Hydreigon goes down due to its Life Orb. In comes Electros, we bring in Soulfire, who's below half HP, and a Flame Burst brings Electros low. Soulfire hangs on with 3 HP and fires back with 1 more Flame Burst to take down the Electros. In comes Toxicroak, so we switch to Porky, since Soulfire is dead to anything at this point. Porky takes a Shadow Ball like nobody's business, and fires back with a powerful Head Smash, which doesn't do as much as I had hoped. Unfortunately here, there's nothing I can switch into, so I go for a Thunder Punch, hoping for the Paralysis. It does not happen, and we lose our starter, leaving only Soulfire left. Ghetsis here goes for the heal, but we hit it with a Flame Burst, outspeed the next turn, and take down the Toxicroak, earning us the victory over Ghetsis, but at what cost? Now, you're probably asking to yourself, there's no way in hell you are going to solo the remainder of this game with a Chandelure. And I'm going to tell you, you're technically not wrong, but you also are. I am going down fighting in this game. Soulfire, the Chandelure, is going to carry us to that Elite Four win. Just you wait and see. Well, I won't guarantee anything. But the reason why I said you're kind of right is because we have one more encounter in this game. In the Abundant Shrine, if you use Waterfall, we can catch a Vulpix, who we use a Firestone on that I got from a Dust Cloud, evolving it into Ninetales, leaving us with just Soulfire and Kitsune to take on Hugh for the last time here in Victory Road. He only has 4 Pokemon, so this is very doable. He leads with Unpheasant, and I lead with Kitsune. We're going for the champion level cap of 62 to make this a little easier on myself. Kitsune gets swaggered, but breaks through and takes on the Unpheasant with a Flamethrower, leading into Bouffalant. This Bouffalant's pretty powerful, but we Will-O-Wisp it to have its attack and tank an Earthquake like nobody's business. I gave Kitsune Porky's old leftovers, considering he doesn't have a use for them anymore. Tank another Earthquake like nobody's business and stay roughly at half, allowing us to hit one more Flamethrower, tank an Earthquake, and have the burn finish off Bouffalant, leading into his next Pokemon, Samurott. Now, I'm forced to just hit off a Flamethrower, which luckily crits, and sacrifice Kitsune here to get a clean switch into Soulfire, who is going to be able to outspeed and hit a powerful Energy Ball, taking down Samurott, leaving behind only Simisage. Now, this Simisage is a weakling, does a light crunch on us, and we one-shot it with a Flame Burst, taking down Hugh and earning us our right to take on the Elite Four. Now, we only have a 1 Chandelure to take on the Elite Four with. We have 8 deaths in this run, all of which due to a lot of my own stupidity, besides Kitsune, who I pretty much had to sacrifice. But without further ado, let's take on Ghost Elite Four Chantal with a Ghost type of our own. Now, as you know, Ghost is super effective against Ghost, and we're 6 levels higher. So one Shadow Ball takes down the Coffagrigus, leading into Golurk. Golurk, a Ghost and Ground type, could kill us if it outsped, but it does not because it's very slow. One Shadow Ball gets the job done. In comes Drifblim, who could have the Aftermath ability, but it does not seem that it does, leading to her own Chandelure, but we're now 5 levels higher than it, and one Shadow Ball gets the job done. We've taken down one of the Elite Four with only a Chandelure. Next up is Elite Four Caitlyn, the Psychic type user, who we are super effective against. Put to the Musharna, a pretty bulky Pokemon. We, of course, fire off a Shadow Ball to bring it well below half as we get yawned. As she goes for a full restore, one more Shadow Ball brings it low once again and takes it out with a critical hit, but we're put to sleep. In comes Sigilyph, who could easily kill us with a Shadow Ball of its own, but we wake up just in time to one-shot it with a Shadow Ball. Out comes Gothitelle, a pretty powerful Pokemon, but we're able to take it out with a Shadow Ball, leading into her last Pokemon, Reuniclus, who's pretty tanky, but one of our Shadow Balls brings it very low. We tank a Psychic with 12 HP and finish it off, earning our second of 4 Elite Four battles. Next up is Elite Four Marshall, the fighting type user. He leads with a throw. We, of course, lead with Soulfire. What other choice do we have? A Shadow Ball brings it a little bit above half, but he misses a Rock Tomb, allowing us to almost take it out with a Flame Burst. However, he does, in fact, heal. One more Shadow Ball brings it above half once again, but we get the Special Defense drop, allowing one more to kill. In comes Conkeldurr, his ace, at level 58. A Shadow Ball brings it below half, and it goes for a Bulk Up, which is going to be useless in this scenario because we get a Special Shadow Ball taking it out. In comes Sock. Now, Sock has Sturdy. Unfortunately, we get flinched by Rock Slide, and since we're outsped, that's the end of the run. Soulfire, you fought extremely well. You were pretty much the MVP of the late game as you soloed Marlon, played big in those team Plasma battles, and soloed 2 Elite Four members by yourself. Unfortunately, even if we got through Marshall, I think it's safe to say we would not be able to beat Grimsley, the Dark type user, because pretty much any of his Pokemon could have one-shot us. I had the Scope Lens attached to Soulfire, so I could hope to get lucky crits and maybe like breeze through parts of the Elite Four, but we had 9 possible encounters. We lost all of them, but at least I'm glad to say that we made it to the Elite Four in this run, and we're able to take out 2 Elite Four members with just a Chandelure. My eyes have really been opened to how good of a Pokemon Chandelure really is. I believe I have used it before, when I played Pokemon White when I was younger in one of my subsequent playthroughs, but I want to thank you guys for watching, and hopefully in the next Nuzlocke I'll be successful. Thank you guys once again, and I'll see you guys in whatever comes next.